Okay, what is the latest version of Ollama? July of 2024. That's not very helpful. All right, how about now? Much better. All right, so what just happened? Well, every AI has a knowledge cutoff date. They are trained on a specific time frame of data. Anything that falls outside of that time range, it doesn't know about. So anything that happened, this model is 2024, so anything that happened later than that, it has no idea about. So what we've just done here is give it that access. So now your local models can go out and search the internet live whenever you ask them the question and pull the most relevant recent data, which exponentially increases the usefulness of your models. To get this set up for yourself, you want to head over to Tavily.com and sign up. If you have a free account, you can sign in with Google or just go ahead and make one. Once that's done, you get spat out here. Now, on the free plan, you get 1,000 credits per month. That's 1,000 lookups per month. And I think that's plenty for any kind of personal use cases that you guys might be using. Now, we're going to work on building our mcp.json file. So this is a template that I have on my blog post. Feel free to copy it from there. Link will be in the description. So something to note is you do need node.js installed on your system prior to getting this set up. That is a dependency. It's super easy to install. I'll put a couple just commands in the description if you're on Linux, but it's like a one-liner in the terminal, man. It's pretty easy. On the Tavily dashboard, you need to copy your API key. You do that just by clicking this little copy button right next to it. Then come back over to the Notepad doc. Then just paste your API key right in here within the quotes. Just like that. Once you've got that, just Control-A, Control-C, that whole doc. Come back into LM Studio, hit the local server option on the left, and come up right at the top, click this mcp.json. Once you're in here, you'll see a little template. Just Control-A, delete that again, and then just paste your key in there and hit save. Now, all that's left is we have to tell our model that this is a tool that exists that it can call on. So in LM Studio, just open the sidebar up, find the mcp-tavily that we just added, click that on. That looks good. Now the one thing, the model did already find it again, but it might not. So one thing that you can check is open the tools and make sure that it is selected down there at the bottom. So check that it works, put your little question in there, send it away. It'll process the prompt and it will try to call the tool. Now it's asking for permission here to run the tool. I just hit always allow. That's easy enough. I'm probably going to check both these boxes and hit proceed. You can always edit that here on the right, and the permission is just under what we just added. So I change it back to ask, change it back again, and look at that. Found the absolute latest version. We can confirm that by going on to GitHub and making sure. And there it is, version 0.18.0. It found it. Found the release day. Isn't that awesome? So in LM Studio, that is completely set up. Your model can search the internet. It can do whatever it wants, call tools. But how about outside of LM Studio? How about Open WebUI? It's pretty simple here too. So just go over to your user, admin panel, settings, and you're going to scroll on down to web search. Now I've got another one running right now, but for Tavily, just come down here, select that in the dropdown, select it here as well. Paste your API key in, and that's it. Just hit save. Fire up a new chat. One thing you have to do is click integrations and open web search if it's not there automatically. All right, then the same question we've been asking it every time. What's the latest version of Ollama? Send message. It found 2 sources. Now it's thinking about it. It's been thinking for a pretty long time here. What I've noticed with Open WebUI specifically is it does seem to invoke the thinking model a lot more. So it spends a lot more time in this thinking arena before it actually answers your question. There it is, version 18.0. How cool is that? So if you haven't caught on yet, every tool that you use, OpenWebUI or LM Studio or OpenCode, those all have to be configured separately. It's not just one area and done. Each tool that you want to use or interface that you're interacting with your models needs to be aware of this MCP set. All right, OpenCode, where it gets super useful to have internet access. Agentically search the web for whatever you're working on. So kind of similar to what we did for LM Studio, just make a little notepad doc, copy this little segment from my blog post, drop your API key in here, just like so. Once you're doing that, Control-A, Control-C. Then head over into your home directory, .config/OpenCode, and open nano OpenCode.json. That is the main configuration file for OpenCode. Once you're here, just walk on down, get some space between this final parenthesis, paste your information. You need to add for JSON a comma here. Close that up to make it look a bit better and save that. Load OpenCode and boom, MCP installed. Look at that. So for the OpenCode demo, I want to run something that's more interesting than just what's the latest version of Olama. How about look up the latest LangChain release notes and write me a Python snippet using the newest syntax in the current directory. Now, something to note is if you are not using a capable enough model, this can still fail, right? So if you're using a teeny-weeny model, you're going to get teeny-weeny outputs. Also, I'm using Qwen 3.5 9b, and I noticed that it keeps trying to think that it's like August of 2025. So it's helpful to include that in the prompt that it's actually 2026 now, kind of something like that. Or in the system prompt that OpenCode injects, you can go and have it query the current date, which would be more elegant. But just for this test, let's just do this. Okay, here we go. You can see on the right, it says Tavily is connected as the MCP server. That's really cool. Okay, it finished it up, took about 2 minutes. That was pretty cool. Errors because it doesn't have it installed on my machine, so that makes sense. So if we go check that out now, yep, there it is. It created it. So if we just cat it, and yeah, there it is. Look at that. I did go out and research the internet and find the latest, and it created this example off of that. So that is really, really neat. Having your models be able to go out to the internet and fetch the latest information is pretty extremely neat, because if you're doing any kind of agentic workload and you need something, config files could have changed, syntax could have changed within the last couple of years, having it find the latest and greatest and build from that is immensely powerful. So I think hooking your AI up to the internet like this is crucial and absolutely worth the 5-minute investment that takes. So yeah, that's about it. Pretty quick for what the amount of upgrade that you get. So next video, I'm actually going to show CRXNG, and that's all self-hosted, no API keys, no third party, just your machine for full privacy. That's going to be kind of cool. So yeah, if you're interested in that, stay tuned, and thanks for watching.